Wade.
Hey.
Carolyn's probably gonna text you.
So what?
Carolyn's gonna probably text you as well,
Oh,
but just as people come in, just let them know we're live,
okay,
so they don't talk.
okay.
No, you're not live yet, are you? I am. Yep, you're live now, so.
Hey Don, just a word of warning, we're actually live, so, yeah. Just
Okay.
Heads up.
If I'd have known that, I'd have brought a comb and comb my hair and everything.
Other thing, yeah, so,
How do I
if
get
you say anything inappropriate, thinking over something, just get outside.
Well, no,
Nothing to do, yeah.
I appreciate the heads up.
But yeah, actually, I just found out from that, Sarah just told me. Okay. Hey, John, word of warning, we're live at the moment because of the.
You're on candid camera.
So, yeah. So
Oh,
just be-
I can the camera.
Wave at the audience.
That's right.
Great show. I used to love that.
I'll watch my language.
Alan Funt, I believe was his name.
Yeah, Alan Funt, that's
right.
it, yes.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I don't watch it a lot, but certainly watched it. So what do we got today? We got the bottom floor of a East Beach, right?
Right, yeah.
So what, just give me, what you think?
Well, I mean, basically here, two critical things of it. One, we can't approve it because what he wanted to do seems pretty simple. He wants to add doors to the bottom floor of the house. Before they were just louvers. Because
Right.
what used to be in the flood zone, they elevated the house. They elevated the house, but oh, sound is very clear. Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, I've been out of so You're live.
You're on TV?
You're live.
Wash my mouth.
Hi.
Hello, good evening.
I am fine. How are you?
Good. Good.
Somebody wants to add a floor to their house.
Well, it's already there,
The floor is there. Yeah.
so I'll have a lot of questions about. If you read the description, it says it was there when they permitted it. You know, they want some kind of doors. And I didn't even see pictures of the east and the west side of the house. You get the north and the south side. But not the east.
Okay. I see.
So I think when you go to add these type of doors,
Yeah.
the maximum height, it can be is 3 stories. Well, it's already 2.5, not including the downstairs, which would make it 3.5.
3.5.
And that's the rub right there.
Yeah, when it becomes livable, right? It becomes
Yes.
a separate floor.
But if you read the owner's statement, it says it was,
So this is PLE, yeah. I'm just reading it now. Enhance the view. Existing. No square footage. No, well, that's true, I guess. The finished square footage would be different, right?
that would be finished, I think, is what the planning commission was saying. Once these doors are put on,
Yeah.
it changes its status.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
He's saying here that it's, we are not requesting additional square footage.
No,
Well, they are, in a way, they're requesting additional
living,
square footage.
I would guess so.
I mean,
That's how it kind of reads.
that's the way I read it, but,
But then if you read the very first note, no, that's not it. Where would I see?
With the conversion of bottom floor to habitable space, the house will exceed over
Okay, we're adding these doors to a floor that already has doors, air conditioning, a full bath, and laundry room that were built at the initial build and not on a remodel.
Oh, really?
So that's kind of a question I have is, was it always intended to be living space if they'd gone so far as it had already been air conditioned?
Air conditioning, yeah, full bath, laundry.
I don't know. I guess they'll be able to tell.
We have a full bath and laundry room.
I mean,
Garage. Yeah.
Yeah, the house I grew up in was raised, and anything we had downstairs we knew shouldn't be too nice because it would flood, you know.
Right.
So we just had, for the most part, a laundry room,
Yeah.
a ping pong room, and like a junk
Something you
room.
could afford to flood, yeah. I mean, if you want to. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about this one. It says it's going to be 3.5 stories as far as I can see.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it is now.
It already is.
Right. So the height,
Because they never did so.
in reality, the height is there.
Yeah. So somebody gave the permission for that stuff.
That's what I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they had it and then thought, let's make bedrooms. No, that's not in here though. I think he would.
I don't know. I'm not, are you involved with real estate?
I follow real estate stuff, but I'm
Got a
not.
couple people that have been involved in real estate.
Yeah, no, I have good friends that are.
I was in St. Louis, I had my license. It was after I retired from the Army. Something different to do, you know. I did it for 6 months. Couldn't, you know, it was a woman's world in St. Louis. I don't know how it is down here.
Not,
It's not.
not in my
It's
experience.
a woman's world for any higher price properties, for
Well,
sure.
that is good. At least it is somewhere.
And so, you know, that's all I wasn't trying to do. You know, I was just trying to get into the business. So I joined 2 gals who were together. So it taught me a lot.
So you were like part of a team?
Yeah. I joined their team. Right now. I'd show the house. I listed the company. And then I got a real job. It was after I retired from the Army. I couldn't do anything for 90 days.
I think the Army was a pretty real job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of just did that to.
Yeah, I couldn't because I couldn't get a government job.
Good evening. Hey.
The government rules are you can't retire from the government and go back to work. Hi, how are you today?
You can't go back at another capacity?
Not within 90 days.
Not within 90 days.
That takes away the old boy network. You get yourself a job. Right?
Yeah,
That's what it's supposed to do.
presumably.
That's what it's supposed to do. I still got the same job I was looking for.
Still knows
I
the
just
same
did
people.
something in between.
Right.
Yeah. And I learned a lot. I really did learn a lot. I mean, I went through that whole course.
Oh, yeah.
Goodacre Realty sent me to this, Home Garden Realty.
I used to do real estate closings.
Oh,
so
did you?
I learned a lot of
Oh,
that
yeah.
side of things.
Yeah.
But never real estate.
Well, they sent me to this class. It was like a week long, 5 days. It was very intensive. I learned a great deal for nothing. I didn't pay a penny for it. So, yeah.
Hey, knowledge
I
is not
just,
nothing.
all I did was help sell a few houses. That's all. I actually sold it by owner when I was in the Army. We had several houses, but this one was our first one. Bought it new. I said, not paying. Bought it myself, not paying. I sold it for a decent price. So it's cool.
Oh, and you worked in a while. My mother-in-law was a realtor for a while.
Yeah.
She was always having to hustle and make flyers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing that just on my own.
Who's on your cup there, family?
That's, yeah, that's
Cute.
my 45-year-old there, the bachelor's son,
Uh-huh.
and his daughter with baby. She's now
Give me a moment to get myself organized. Amanda is
You have
not
any
here.
grandchildren?
I have 2
So,
grandchildren. She has a new grandbaby. I don't have that.
I'll be
Right,
doing
you
basically
have an
that.
updated cup?
everything.
I need
Which
an
it's not
updated-
that much, but
Yeah.
you want to.
And
Sweet.
my wife, her husband, they live in Orlando. He lives in Austin.
Uh-huh.
And cute
What do they call you? What did
Grandpa.
the little one's talking to?
Yeah.
Oh,
Grandpa.
Very precious.
I'm grandpa. She's so precious. And her little sister. A month old yesterday, I think. Yes. Yeah, we were there. We were there. Big deal.
I'm waiting for one of my nieces to have her second. And we thought it was last week. I went over there. She's taking it.
Just push the.
It's any day.
It's really very.
It's always exciting.
Yeah, it was.
Pretty good. This should be interesting, huh?
And
Yeah.
her daughter and her husband.
Driving to bed.
They're both at the beach with kids in Vietnam. They have lots of work,
Yeah, they
lots
do.
of patience, lots of sorrow,
So,
lots
yeah,
of
if you
crying,
got
lots
Lots of money.
too.
Let me go ask.
A lot of waiting, and a lot of
Right, real
disappointment.
quick.
It's scary.
Thanks for pointing that out.
So they went
What time
through
is it?
it.
They
Once in a while,
When's their-
5 years. They have one.
3 o'clock?
That's great.
They
Three.
got 2 beautiful children. It's worth it.
Figure out when this next got leaving ship.
Right, right. I didn't know when it was time.
Are you Amanda?
Yeah.
Are you Amanda? I did not know that.
How many people are there?
I completely blew her mind yesterday. I called her. I said, I have stuff from the last meeting as my attachments.
Yeah, they're
I didn't
hiring.
realize I'd saved last month's as new when I first got the email. I was like, somewhere I couldn't look at
I
the
do not know. She,
attachments.
Raven is gone. But you found it?
I called me
Cool.
back.
Very
Yeah,
good.
she called
I had to do a
she called me back today, because I
a
called
mess
her.
out of her
Push button
because I was
such a
opening the
little
wrong month.
Yeah, just making sure we're still on, and
Yeah,
she
they-
didn't answer her phone.
Cycle.
So I left her a message, she called me from home, I guess.
She does.
Yeah,
I think she's
She's very
pretty
good.
24/7.
Ready to go, Wade?
Yeah.
Good person.
I don't know how she keeps all these boards and stuff going.
They, that's really downtown.
She's good. From what
Eastern
Wayne
here,
Right.
call it Bible side.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Is that, yeah, about, okay. About, that's all.
Okay.
Ready?
Let me turn this on. Give me just a moment. All right, good to go.
All right, so we'll call to order the meeting of the Zoning and Adjustment Board, City of Ocean Springs, Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from the June 14th meeting. Has everybody had a minute to look at those?
I have, and I do have to bring something up.
Okay.
I'm off. Okay, can you hear me? The March 8 minutes, I made a correction that I wasn't there. So shouldn't it have said approve the minutes as amended? Because we did.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nothing.
All right. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Recommend to approve the minutes.
All right, motion to approve, second.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No opposed. All right, next item on the agenda is old business, and we have none. So we'll move on to new business. The first and only item on the agenda is an appeal at 519 East Beach Drive, parcel ID number 61466-013.000, appealing the planning department's decision regarding a maximum permitted height of a dwelling. And Wade, if you'll introduce the appeal to us.
Sure thing. Okay. You can see the property on the,
Can I help in
Page.
some way?
no,
Or does it
I
matter? Okay.
I don't think we don't have that on there yet. I wasn't able to get that on the screen. Have to just look at the,
I think we're good with it.
yeah, since we just have the one item, we can look at the map of where this is. You can see it's on East Beach Drive, very deep lot with frontage actually on East Beach Drive across the street from the public beach. The house is on the photo there. I just want to emphasize that the appearance of that will not change from this appeal. The situation here is that this is in the R1 district and also in the Waterview Preservation Overlay zoning district. This comes to you as an appeal of our staff's denial of a building permit to install doors on the lower level of the house, the existing house. The house was built, I think, in 2014, 2017, and at that time, as understanding from discussing this with the building department, the house was about a few feet of fill was brought in for where the house itself was built. That raised it out of the velocity flood zone, the VE flood zone, which then allowed that lower floor to have some not be as totally open as it would be in typical VE zoning districts, flood district requirements. So their request is to add doors to this lower level to enclose it for, I think, children's use, other use, recreational use, things like that. The issue is that under the Water View District overlay, any single-family dwelling is limited to 3 floors in height. As you can see from the photo of it, by doing that, it is clearly 3.5 stories in height. So from that standpoint, we, as staff, do not have the authority to approve something that does that. So, as being appealed to you from y'all, it will go to the Board of Aldermen for a final decision on that. As I said, the appearance of the house itself, the height of it will not change by this action, but it will give the owner and the builder the opportunity to make that lower level of the house, as you would say, habitable as opposed to a flow-through area for floodwaters. Chuck Weems, the builder and applicant, is here, and he can also answer questions you might have about the specifics of it. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Wade. So the way I understand kind of what you said is at the time when this was being built, there were some questions about whether or not the first floor needed to be potentially elevated to get out of the flood zone, which is why this house was built up and had a open air lower level, if you will.
Correct. That's my discussion with the building official. Of course, the current building official was not the official at the time, so this is going back through the records and others memories on it. So, but yes, that is exactly the case.
Okay. And I guess the intent of this overlay district to limit the height of 3 stories is to keep just giant structures from all over the beach, blocking it from everybody behind it, because this is an existing already structure. You're not adding one up, you're essentially adding to the bottom and not necessarily adding to the bottom.
Can I interject just a little?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I want to paint a little bit different picture. This bottom
Yeah, if
floor-
you'll come to the mic, name, address.
Hi, my name,
Is that?
Is it press the bottom button on the very bottom of it? I think that's on now.
got it?
There might be a different switch to turn.
There it is. Okay, now
Got
it's
it.
on.
Okay. Anyway, my name's Chuck Weems, owner of Weems Custom Homes. Address is 1229A Vermont Avenue, Ocean Springs. But this bottom floor, at the current state we're at, and was permitted in the very beginning, nothing was done underhand or anything. It's already air conditioned. It's not blow through, as I didn't want you to get the wrong idea that it's just a washout room. It's not. It's built to building codes with straps, everything. It's not a blowout. It's already air conditioned. It's got a bathroom down there. And actually a laundry room also. It's already got doors down there. All we're adding is 2 additional doors on the front on each side and 1 on the side to allow more access of the view, if you would. We're not adding any closets downstairs. We're just enhancing the view from that lower level. The kids play down there. It's more of like a playroom and stuff, and a video room. So we're really not adding, not going up, like you were stating, we're not going up, we're not going out, we're not doing anything but adding some light to come in. That's about it.
Okay.
So the existing closed out area is you said it's already permitted?
It was permitted at initial construction.
I guess that was before the UDC then, I guess. it was
Correct.
permitted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And at that time, was there an overlay, it being pre-UDC?
Yeah, that the overlay district, Waterview overlay was still in
Okay.
effect at that time, yes. That was carried over into the UDC, but it was in effect at that time.
That would have been 3 stories whenever it was prior to UDC too, it would have been.
A 3-story height limit, correct.
So like the question, if it was like that at time of construction, that 2014 to 2017 period, why are adding doors making this the kicker to take this to 3.5? If he's saying there's already,
I don't know. I can't
okay,
answer.
that's what I was kind of
Yeah.
questioning myself, is it's not as if he's just added AC or plumbing. This was known, 5 years ago.
As best I can tell, that's correct.
Okay.
I really, like I say, the building official at that time is no longer here, nor
Right.
was the planner at that time. So I don't know.
So technically by story definition, it's already 3.5.
In reality.
Yeah.
Right now.
Correct.
Right, and the
So
unfortunately,
anything we approve doesn't make it taller.
and also since it is
It doesn't add to
residential,
your
the
square feet
plans,
of living.
Mhm.
plans for it have not been kept. They've been destroyed a few
What
years
has?
ago. The plans, original
Okay.
building plans for it, so they could go back and look at, see if there's any kind of notation on that. So we don't have a much of a record of,
Gotcha.
but so we just have to look at it for what we have in front of us right now.
Okay.
And like Chuck is saying, it was done
At the time of the bill.
appropriately at the time, but what we have to deal with right now is the,
Adding the half floor.
exactly.
So I had a question. I know there's home insurance, and is the policy designate that as part of the house or not part of the house, or how do you know?
I don't know.
Because it might affect, I was wondering.
Well, yeah, Peter's, would like to know. Well, because one of the things, it's not designated, what do you call it, blowout room, or what's the term?
Yeah,
No,
so,
but the likelihood of that happening is pretty good.
yeah, wait, and
What's
I
the
guess,
elevation, about 10,
yeah,
12 feet?
I guess as I understand, the building department has no issue with
5 or 6.
the bottom floor elevation
That is-
being a flood issue.
That's correct.
Now,
It's,
answer your
it's
question.
not
You're
that,
about
yeah,
floodplain
Yeah.
management,
yeah, it's-
DE zone.
or A
blowout.
zone, yeah, yeah.
No,
No.
Just
Sorry.
like the
There's
house-
none of
We're
that.
above the
Yeah.
BFE.
Yeah.
It's like 22
Yeah.
feet there.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
21 feet. It's not 10 or 12. No.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, no. I was just
But the
making sure
berm
you
is
understand we're
probably
not
like
in
5.
any type of flood zone or anything. And it might be the zone may be, but the elevation is I built a house just adjacent to it. And it was, I'm pretty sure it's like around 21 feet.
Yeah, and so, looking at this part, I think the front half, on East Beach Drive is VE zone, which, kicks you into a whole different set of regulations. I think the middle to the back half gets into an A zone, which you can feel, get up out of the flood zone. And then right up against the road, I think you actually turn into an X zone, which is no flood zone. I obviously don't have a building plan that shows where this is on the parcel, but just looking at it, it is back in the AE or X flood zone. So outside of that VE, where you're allowed to technically fill, not allowed to fill.
Just curious, what triggers the permit for this, the value of the construction, is that? what,
Windows and door prices are so hot that it's above the, what, $600?
That's, I
I
think
mean, we're adding four
600?
sets of double doors.
I was thinking 10,000.
Yeah, that's,
Buy a couple of
that's
tools,
right.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of,
Never mind.
That's okay.
but actually,
Right.
but the reason we got into this, because the house has been inundated with termites on the south side of the house, and we were doing that, and she said, can we add, I said, I'm pretty sure we can. I didn't see, like I said, we're not doing anything except adding a view, or enhancing the view. It's already got doors that are just like it on the sides in the little alcove area.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be setting some kind of a precedent.
No,
Just
that's,
adding to what's already there.
Any neighbors agree,
No, they're
disagree, or anything?
Matter of fact, their whole bottom floors are all
Yeah.
enclosed.
Yeah.
With already with the windows and doors.
Because it was done probably when they built, maybe. I don't know.
That's correct.
Yeah, the only downside, I don't know how important it is or is not, it just seems kind of like a back door, how to get 3.5 stories is not listed, and I'm not saying that's you, that's just what happened. Yeah, I'm just saying, but, so, do you want to, so how strict is the 3.5 story rule, or three-story rule? That's a question,
And so Wade, let me ask this, if, you were building in the Waterview Preservation Overlay District, a new house today, and you did not have to elevate the structure in order to get out of a flood zone, where would you start? Would you start measuring at the bottom and the ground elevation today? So if you had a car, just where you parked under, an elevated first floor, would you measure that from the ground or from that true first floor?
if it is not in the flood zone,
Yep.
then you measure from the ground level.
Okay.
And, so where you start
And so
measuring
that's how
from.
you kind of
Mhm.
avoid, a backdoor
And there
kind
are-
of way is, maybe this, without having the benefit of knowing what happened in, 2014 to 2017 as this was going through. If you were to try to do this today here, under the current UDC, it being out of the flood zone, they would have said, well, measure from the floor, the bottom is counted as. a
So it would
habitable
not
space.
have been approved.
Correct. That's, well, I can't say
Well, I
that.
can't
but
say-
yes,
yeah, I can't say
that's-
don't know the
That's
details, but
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I guess what we're saying is the existing building is already 3.5.
it's
We're
there,
not
correct.
changing-
We're not changing.
Right, it's an
Yeah.
existing
Right.
building.
Yeah. And I think that's,
I mean, I think that is the key part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that is not changing
Looks
the
just like
structure.
one
yeah.
next door.
So like in a flood zone, if you were to build this in a flood zone and, do a open air area underneath and then come back and try to box it in and made it a living space, then the floodplain, building department would say, no, this is a flood zone. You cannot box this in now. Whereas if this was outside of the flood zone, they would have measured it from the ground. So that's the benefit of knowing what happened,
Oh, I understand.
2014,
No, that's why
2017.
that's how we get in all these. Well, the other was, so I'm looking at that picture, did the neighbors have something similar, or would you be the?
They're all the same. They're all
the same.
They're all enclosed on the bottom floor.
Is this the tallest?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is, yeah.
I think
just-
most are two,
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
above ground level.
Yeah.
two
The one behind it looks like.
I think they're all about the same height. The only thing
One
is
behind it
this
looks
one, they
like
took in that half, I think is where the kicker is that half a story up there.
Yeah.
There's no bathroom, they just took in some attic space. The other ones didn't, they've got an attic.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to argue that,
Yeah, right.
I mean, was done 5-6 years ago.
So if the other ones have that bottom floor closed in, then they're not three-story, or how did that, how?
They are 3 stories.
How could the other ones do it?
Well,
How were
this-
they able to do it?
Well, I mean, this one did it too, this one exists just as the other ones are.
Right.
The only thing is, if they were to come and try to add some doors and windows today, would it trigger the same thing? I don't know. I don't know the height of the
Yeah, I don't know about those.
Yeah, so I,
You have to
really
look at
just
each one.
Well,
focus on this.
Consistency, I
Yeah.
guess, is really what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
You don't want this to have something, then next, that's my point.
Yep. All right. Any other discussion or questions for Mr. Weems? Thank you. All right. Any other questions for staff or discussion amongst ourselves? Or would anybody like to make a motion?
Discussion amongst ourselves, maybe?
You have discussion.
Yes.
On this ourselves, yeah.
I feel okay with supporting this, given it's not him adding, and it was caught in a switch of old codes and new codes. He's already, at the time of building the whole dwelling, had it plumbed and, wired for electricity and AC. So they're already using it for this purpose. We're just adding doors.
Good point. First, I was just seeing like the language of it was we were adding a story, but it's already
Yeah,
incorporated as is.
yeah,
It's already been done.
yeah.
Different.
First of all, it's not really a construction issue, that's not what we're here. It's, again, a lot of these problems is the original site plans that were approved,
Different codes.
yeah, and so we're more coming on the back end of that, trying to clean it up, so to speak. So, I don't know, what else is strong for or against?
I mean, the intent of the overlay district is, like I said, to keep from building too high.
Right.
We're not building any higher here, so. Higher. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, we would like to see how they got approved on the get-go, but
Yeah.
we don't have access to that, so there we are. And so going forward, if we approve it, if we don't approve it, then so be it. And if we do, then the next step is, then they go to the planning commission,
The board of aldermen.
to the board of aldermen.
It will go to the Board of Aldermen,
It goes to
no
the
matter
Board
what,
of
they
Aldermen.
make the
Whether
final
we-
decision.
Or.
Okay,
or
so we're-
ties. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, so it's ours a recommendation,
Correct,
something
That's
like that.
correct. We're in between.
Oh, okay. And then, and has it been before the board before?
No,
Planning
We're the
commission,
first.
right?
Pla-
Not even
No, we're
planning.
first.
No, you're the first.
Yeah, we're
Planning
first.
department.
it goes to building, went to building department, they said, talked to Wade, Wade said, yep, you gotta have, an appeal to the ZAB, and so that's where we are. And then next is board. So,
Is the board, and they've not seen it before.
no.
Yes, for recommendations.
Yep.
I'll try to make a motion here.
Do it.
Go for it. You got it.
Might need cleaning up, but hey, I'll give it a shot. Approve the building permit for the installment of doors on the bottom floor of 519 East Beach Drive, PID numbers 61466-013, based upon the existing dwelling being approved at 3.5 floors. I've got approval.
Yeah, is that
That's good, yeah, just,
sufficient?
you need me-
Basis of approval?
Exactly, that
Existing
included that?
Height, yep.
that takes care of it. Thank
All
you.
right, motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So this will be on Board of Aldermen consent agenda next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday? Yeah, thank you all very much.
All right, thank you. All right, audience request, we have none, so motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
All right, second.
Okay.
All right, all in favor, aye.
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 Adjourn. Thank
Don't
you
forget
very
to
much.
leave your binder for Amanda.
to begin with,
That threw me off.
unless they were.
Yeah, the
It was a
house
little
behind.
weird, little
Yeah, a little-
intricate one.
Well, the house
Couple
behind
more
is
than one
3.5
step.
stories too. I
Because
mean, it's
otherwise,
got a
if
floor,
I
it's
just,
got cars in the basement.
say we're gonna
Yeah.
build two. and a
That's
half.
how I just felt strongly, they already
Yeah.
had it plumbed.
It's there,
Used
yeah.
it.
I can't believe we lost the records.
That wasn't on them,
Because
that's
that-
just a change.
I mean,
And all that.
Is that what it was?
I mean, well,
No, this was,
Is that 14?
Well,
this
they,
house was built
building,
before-
building department probably
All the
does
time,
funds
I
out every
yelled at you yesterday.
5 years.
Oh, this was built in over 14 years. Yeah, those you.
We cruise every afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Every
Yeah,
five
we-
years. I see you a lot.
Yeah, that's our usual,
Support.
Yeah.
system.
it's cooler than ours.
It's our cruise around, because they like to bark at chickens on Dewey.
Oh,
We
yeah.
always do.
Yeah.
They may not have, yeah,
Uh-huh.
they may not have
I
had
know.
electronic stuff then and just never digitized.
Not
Not everything.
Yeah, really chairs at that,
Little B&B thing.
yeah.
I know they feed them a lot. I don't know who they belong to exactly, but it's the house.
I just don't see how they got the house.
Because I see them getting fed a few places right there. They're funny. That's what we do.
Well, I know, I was definitely on the
walking
fence.
around, just go down Dewey, then Front Beach, and then
Yeah.
Jackson's back around.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it may have
I
been.
do that too. I'll sometimes put nails.
It works.
I grew up
The system.
blocks from here, so it's.
You know, it
That
may-
other house, there, so there's.
See you
See
next,
you
well,
next time.
actually, we don't have one problem.
You know for sure. Okay.
I mean, if you go to the backside, the walls is on.
So far, no.
On the backside, where they've got the garages and stuff.
How you doing, sir?
No, the house behind it is 3.5 stories,
Okay.
and it's got cars down there.
So they're not, that's why I was.
That's what I'm
wondering-
saying, it's the same house.
That's what I wondered what the insurance people had that listed at it.
Yeah.
We voted on it, so.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hello. Good to meet you.
To the top of your head, Wade.
You got it.
I didn't think she's gonna get with it anymore.
I didn't think so either.
Save,
Right.
save the trees.
Right, you have your choice. Oh,
Save the world.
yeah, I always learn something.
I guess they didn't have a good understanding. Makes a difference. Well, worked out.
Wait, I turned these back
Well,
off. I can show you where this button is, though.
so the Alderman, Board of Aldermen.
They finally, yeah, your name on this. Whatever they do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
They'll
a
approve our,
recommendation.
or not.
Or not.
Which,
It seemed like
It's
it's.
up.
Right.
Okay.
Like the original. So,
yeah.
Luckily, it's the first button.
I mean, blew mine a little bit.
Luckily, it wasn't the one that turned all right.
Yeah. So now, you know, that's the one you press when you're being robbed, and the police immediately show up. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That way.
Okay,
We're still on video though.
so, make sure I got it right. So, can you submit those plans today?
I gotta get back over, Andy is supposed to show up, I think, shortly to talk about that.
According to.
Did I say that right?
And I do not think we have a meeting next month, I
That's-
understand.
But I think it's, well, he's happy,
We have not had any applications filed, so
a little bit confused.
So if you, hey,
you get some time off.
Maybe wait.
wait, no, so if you submitted plans for that, whenever those plans were, and they're gone,
Mhm.
what would, how would it have described the first floor? Or if somebody came along today, I mean, otherwise you get turned down,
No, it would be, I think,
declined.
declined today, you'd have to say, no, it exceeds the
Yeah.
regulations.
I was gonna ask, in general, you kind of already said it, but what is a story? Does it have to be just walls, or is it a habitable?
No,
10
it'd be-
feet.
Yeah, it would be, I mean,
Enclosed?
well, no, even if it were not enclosed, if it's, you
You
know,
can park under it or whatever.
park under it, whatever, it would be, and that's.
As long as it's not in a flood zone.
Yeah,
in the BE zone that would not be open to storage.
Or even if you were in an AE zone and had to, the ground elevation in your AE is 11 and you got to build to a 20, so, your structure's 9 feet there. So your VE's, your velocity zone, that's where you cannot bring in any dirt fill unless you do a study that says, hey, I'm filling this area and this water's going to go over there and it's not going to hurt anybody else. But then AE you can fill. You just got to get above that elevation.
So he said the elevation, to the best of his knowledge, was 20 feet.
20.
That's not right?
Sounds about, that'd be about right. That's the,
Sounds high to me, but.
no, that's elevation in that area. That's flood elevation right there.
Yeah.
I know, because
if you
my
look at
house
those
is,
lots, they pick up.
Yeah.
my house is
Way at the back, yeah.
Yeah, we looked at them, looked.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
But,
No, I'm just getting ready.
so where that,
What's going on?
well, okay. It looks low, it looks loaded.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
Like
no,
if-
it's
Yeah.
actually, I filled the slot.
Like if you look at those ones that are on East Beach that aren't set so far back,
20.
that are elevated,
Yeah.
that bottom is not
I know,
a
I mean, it's short, yeah, it's short.
first
notice.
floor. That first floor doesn't start until the actual elevated structure starts, because they are elevated to get out of the flood zone.
Get to get out of it.
Yeah.
But they can't put anything
Gotta
down.
go back. for a
Yeah,
short
yeah,
meeting.
you cannot, you can't, if you block it in, you gotta put, all your vents and, flow through and all that. And you can't have mechanical equipment, electrical equipment below the, your BFE and all that stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Always interesting.
Not everybody, Mike's out there at the port where everything's just out of the flood zone. You don't have to worry about it out there.
My water was out there.
See y'all.
If I'm not mistaken, my bar manager is the one that actually does all the booking. If I'm not mistaken, we're booked all the way through August, so that's a little bit out there. So we can certainly, I'll give you your information like that. Yeah, I want you to go here, that's for sure. All right, well, thanks. Excuse me.
Wanna stick around for the fun?
No, what is the fun tonight? What you got?
We got apartments and Airbnb or short-term rentals.
Oh, yeah. I was here, I stayed for last time.
Yeah.
You guys had a real long one. I came in later after.
Yeah, it's sometimes the short ones are the long ones and the long ones are the short ones.
Could be,
You have
yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, you don't know.